Former President Donald Trump is suing New York Attorney General Letitia James. It's an effort to halt her office's ongoing investigation into his company. James has been looking into whether the Trump Organization committed financial fraud. The probe is focused on the way Mr. Trump and his company valued various properties to banks and tax officials. Early this month, CBS News learned James was seeking a deposition from the former president in January as part of the civil investigation. And CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates joins me now with more. Hi there, Graham. So you actually spoke to the former president on the phone about this lawsuit. What more did he have to say about the state attorney general's investigation, and why is he taking this action now?
Former President Trump called the attorney general's investigation unconstitutional. And he said, quote, "We are such an aggrieved and innocent party, it is a disgrace," referring again to the attorney general's investigation. And he likened it to investigations he faced while he was president. He said this is like Russia, 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 and of course called it a hoax. But it's a very real investigation. It's been going on for a long time. And by his own account, he and his company have turned over some 8 million pages of documents to the investigation, which I think is why they're saying this thing has gone on too long and we've already cooperated enough.
Well, Graham, do we have any sense how likely is it that a judge could rule in the former president's favor and halt this investigation altogether?
I don't know if that we could say exactly how likely it is that they would rule in his favor. His attorney says that they believe they have a very strong case. They laid out dozens of pages of instances where they said Attorney General Letitia James was overtly political and how she talked about him or the investigation. And they said to them that's evidence that he's being unfairly investigated. But of course, the Attorney General's office pointed out that they have in court filed motions to compel evidence from Mr. Trump and from his company, and those motions have been successful. They said they've repeatedly had success in court with this very investigation. So they said they're going to be undeterred, and this investigation is going to continue without delay.
So how is New York Attorney General Letitia James and her office responding, and will this delay their probe in any way?
They're saying it won't. One of the things we're waiting to find out is if this deposition on January, they wanted January 7th, is going to happen. Whether or not the lawsuit is successful, the investigation gets to continue until someone says otherwise. So as far as we know, they still want him just in a couple of weeks to sit down for a deposition and answer a lot of questions about his finances. And he still doesn't want to do that. But this lawsuit may not even impact those deliberations. That's something he has to work out with them, whether or not this thing goes through at this point.
So, Graham, there is a similar but separate investigation underway into Mr. Trump and his company by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. What's going on with that case?
That investigation looks at a lot of the same stuff, his finances, how his company and he value different properties, but it's a far more wide-ranging investigation. And at this point, a far more serious one. There is a criminal grand jury that has already turned over charges against the Trump Organization's CFO, Alan Weisselberg. That was this summer, as well as the company itself. And we're kind of all waiting with bated breath to find out, is another shoe going to drop? Will former President Trump be charged? Will someone else at the company be charged? Because the grand jury is ongoing. And there's this kind of almost like a deadline that people have put on it, because Cy Vance, the district attorney who's currently in charge, is out of office on December 31st, and a new district attorney starts on January 1st. But it's up to the grand jury in some ways whether or not there's going to be charges. And maybe something will happen before December 31st, or maybe the new year will turn, and then we're all wondering, how long will this go on?
All right, Graham Cates, we know you'll continue to follow it. Graham, thanks as always.
Thank you.